When most people think of Italy, their minds probably jump straight to images of, well, perfectly sauced pasta or maybe a classic margarita pizza.
Yeah, pizza and pasta, right.
But there's so much more to this incredible country. A really rich tapestry woven with threads of ancient customs, vibrant celebrations. And that's precisely what we're going to unpack today for you.
Absolutely. For this deep dive, we've gathered a fascinating collection of sources. Everything from immersive YouTube video transcripts that take you right into the heart of Italian festivals to, insightful blog posts exploring the bedrock of Italian culture. Our mission really is to extract the essential insights, the surprising details, and paint a clear picture of how Italian festivals, deep-rooted traditions, religious beliefs, and the very language itself all sort of intertwine.
Think of this as your express ticket to a deeper understanding of Italy. We'll be journeying through a year's worth of iconic festivals, exploring the core values that shape Italian society, delving into the nuances of its religious landscape, touching on the beautiful complexity of the Italian language, and uncovering some truly unique customs. Ready for a fascinating exploration that won't leave you feeling overwhelmed.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's dive in, starting with the incredible array of festivals that punctuate the Italian year.
All right. The calendar year in Italy is marked by a truly remarkable series of festivals, each offering a window into the country's history and soul.
So our first stop on the celebratory tour is January 6th, the Feast of the Epiphany. Now, most of us know this day as marking the arrival of the three wise men bearing gifts for baby Jesus.
Right. The Magi.
But in Italy, the folklore adds a wonderfully quirky character to the mix, La Befana.
Ah, La Befana. What's fascinating here is the tale. She's this old woman who, according to tradition, was invited to join the Magi on their journey, but, well, she declined. Yeah. Later regretting her decision, she now flies around on her broomstick, delivering gifts to children in hopes of finding the Christ child. This figure, it uniquely blends Christian narrative with, like, pre-Christian folk beliefs. It really illustrates Italy's fascinating way of absorbing and adapting cultural influences.
And this isn't just a quiet tradition, is it? I mean, cities like Rome, particularly Piazza Navona, they come alive with vibrant parades.
Exactly.
Florence hosts the spectacular Cavalcade of the Magi, this grand procession featuring people in magnificent medieval attire.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, no Italian festival is complete without delicious food. Marketplaces are overflowing with traditional sweets like Befani cookies, panettone.
Right, you see those everywhere. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the Feast of the Epiphany beautifully illustrates that blend of religious observance and unique Italian folklore that characterizes so many of these celebrations. It's a moment of both reflection and, well, joyful festivity.
Okay, moving into February, we find ourselves swept up in the magic of the Venice Carnival. This is a truly world-renowned spectacle, isn't it?
Indeed. Its origins trace way back to 1162, and what's remarkable is that it was initially a time when social barriers just sort of blurred.
How so?
Well, people from all walks of life could mingle anonymously behind the cover of masks. Over the centuries, this evolved into the opulent festival we see today, famous for its elaborate costumes, intricate masks, and these extravagant balls held in historic palazzi.
And for our listeners, a palazzo is like a grand, historic mansion, often with significant architectural and artistic value, right?
Exactly, a palace or a grand house.
Just imagining strolling through Venice during Carnival. The canals, the bridges, the narrow streets transformed into a living stage.
It's quite something.
And the masks themselves were iconic, from the traditional Bada and Colombina to incredibly modern artistic creations. And let's not forget the spectacular Flight of the Angel,
Oh, yes.
a costume performer descending from St. Mark's Basilica's bell tower, officially kicking off the festivities.
What stands out about the Venice Carnival is its ability to just transport you to another time. It's a sensory experience, a feast for the eyes, and an echo of Venice's rich and, well, glamorous past. Some historians even suggest its roots might connect back to ancient Roman festivals like Saturnalia, where social hierarchies were temporarily overturned. Interesting stuff.
Fast forward to March 19th, and we celebrate the Festa di San Giuseppe, a tribute to St. Joseph, the earthly father of Jesus, and the patron saint of workers and fathers.
This festival beautifully intertwines religious, cultural, and culinary traditions. Churches hold special masses and processions, often accompanied by solemn music. And in southern regions like Sicily and Campania, families build these elaborate altars known as St. Joseph's tables. They're adorned with flowers, candles, and symbolic foods like fava beans, representing hope and survival.
And for the foodies among us, this day brings the delightful Zeppel.
Ah, the Zeppel.
These are delicious fried dough pastries, often filled with cream, ricotta, or custard, and dusted with powdered sugar or maybe a cherry on top. I hear there are even cooking competitions.
Absolutely, to see who can make the best Zeppel. And beyond the religious aspects, the Festa di San Giuseppe is also a heartfelt celebration of fatherhood and family, with small gifts exchanged and quality time spent together.
Okay, so in April, the focus shifts from local celebrations to a global affair. Vinitaly in Verona.
Right, Vinitaly. What's significant about Vinitaly is its status as a premier international wine industry event. For over half a century now, it has drawn wine lovers and professionals from all over the world. They come to explore the best of Italian winemaking alongside international producers. Vinitaly truly showcases how deeply wine is ingrained in Italian identity, not just as a product, but as a key element of its regional diversity and, frankly, its global influence.
It sounds like a paradise for wine enthusiasts, with guided tastings, master classes, seminars,
Definitely.
and the opportunity to discover wines from all of Italy's diverse regions.
Yeah.
From the robust reds of Tuscany to the crisp whites of Veneto must be incredible.
Exactly. It also offers a glimpse into the future of the industry with previews of limited edition vintages. It's a big deal.
Moving into May, we have the Festa dell'Ascensa, or Feast of the Ascension, in Venice. This sounds like a truly unique Venetian tradition.
It is very Venetian. This centuries-old festival commemorates Venice's historical connection to the sea. A key element is the symbolic marriage of the sea, a ritual dating back to the 10th century.
Tell me more about that. That sounds fascinating.
Well, the main event is a grand boat procession led by the mayor of Venice aboard the Bucentoro, which is this richly decorated ceremonial vessel. It's accompanied by a whole fleet of gondolas and traditional rowing boats. The procession culminates at the Lido, where the mayor casts a golden ring into the water as a symbol of Venice's enduring union with the sea.
Wow, that's a powerful image. And on land, the festivities continue with artisan markets and, of course, delicious local seafood dishes.
Indeed. It's a beautiful way to connect with Venice's maritime heritage. Really quite special.
June takes us back to Verona for a completely different kind of cultural experience. The Verona Opera Festival.
Ah, yes. What makes this festival so special is its breathtaking setting, the ancient Roman amphitheater, the Arena di Verona.
The arena, right?
This open-air venue offers incredible acoustics and a truly magical atmosphere for opera. This festival, it really underscores Verona's deep and enduring love for the arts, offering an unforgettable blend of music, history, and romance.
I can only imagine seeing iconic productions like Ada or Carmen performed by world-class artists in such a historic location.
It's spectacular.
And it sounds like the pre-show atmosphere is part of the experience too, with people bringing picnics to enjoy before the performance.
It absolutely is. It's a testament to Verona's deep love for the arts, offering, like I said, an unforgettable blend of music, history, and romance.
Okay, July brings a step back in time with the Regioni Festival in Tuscany. This sounds like a truly immersive medieval experience.
It is. For 2 weeks, the perfectly preserved walled town of Monteriggioni just transforms, immersing visitors in the sights, sounds, and tastes of the Middle Ages. The streets come alive with knights, minstrels, jugglers, artisans demonstrating age-old crafts.
Medieval banquets with roasted meats and Tuscan wine sound incredible.
They are.
And I love the idea of torch-lit processions and historical reenactments in the evenings.
It's a fantastic blend of education and entertainment, offering a real tangible glimpse into medieval life.
August continues our historical journey with Volterra AD 1389. Another step back in time, this time to the 14th century.
Yeah, much like Monteriggioni, Volterra offers a fully immersive experience. The town's ancient streets and buildings provide the perfect backdrop for a celebration of medieval culture. You've got a grand parade in period costumes, jousting tournaments, medieval markets, and even dramatic battle reenactments.
It sounds like every corner of the town is alive with activity, from craft workshops to torchlit evenings.
Absolutely. It's a truly unforgettable way to experience history firsthand.
September takes us to Peterano sul Gizio for a very unique and perhaps slightly daring event, the Corsa degli Zingari. or Race of the Gypsies.
Right, this one's interesting. What's fascinating here is that this barefoot race down a steep and rocky hillside is as much a test of faith as it is of physical endurance.
Barefoot. Wow.
Barefoot. It's rooted in local tradition, honoring the Madonna del Loreto, and it's a powerful display of devotion. Really quite something to witness.
A barefoot race down a rocky hill that's pretty intense. It really highlights the deep connection between these festivals and local religious beliefs.
Indeed. The crowd gathers to support these brave runners, creating a strong sense of community. It's quite moving.
October offers two very different but equally appealing festivals. First, for the sweet tooth, Euro chocolate in Perugia.
Ah, yes, chocolate heaven. For 10 days each October, Perugia becomes a chocolate lover's paradise. Artisan chocolatiers from around the world showcase their creations, from handmade truffles to these incredible chocolate sculptures. There are workshops, demonstrations, even chocolate-themed cooking competitions.
Chocolate sculptures. That sounds amazing. And the aroma filling the city must be just intoxicating. Are there any, surprising or unconventional chocolate creations that are particularly noteworthy?
Oh, you often see incredibly elaborate and large-scale sculptures, sometimes even using tons of chocolate. It's a real testament to the artistry involved and, well, how seriously Italians take their chocolate. It's a truly indulgent and festive experience.
Okay, October also brings the Sagra dell'Uva, or Grape Festival, in Marino, near Rome. This is a classic celebration of the harvest.
Right, a sagra. This lively event transforms the town into a vibrant hub of culture and community spirit. There's a colorful parade of floats, folk dances, and songs, all paying tribute to the grape harvest.
And I hear Marino has a legendary wine fountain. That sounds like a truly joyous occasion.
It does. It actually flows with wine for a period during the festival. And alongside the wine, there are tastings of regional specialties like porchetta, that's roasted pork, and fettuccine al cinghiale, which is pasta with wild boar sauce.
Sounds delicious. As autumn deepens, November brings the prestigious Alba White Truffle Fair in Piedmont. This sounds incredibly refined.
It is, very refined. This fair pays homage to the rare and aromatic white truffle, drawing chefs, food enthusiasts, and truffle connoisseurs from around the globe. The truffle market is the centerpiece, where you can purchase these prized delicacies and even go on truffle hunting excursions with the hunters and their dogs.
Truffle-infused dishes and wine pairings with Barolo and Barbaresco. That's the epitome of culinary luxury.
Absolutely. It's a feast for all the senses, blending gastronomy, culture, and tradition, a real highlight for food lovers.
As we head into the winter months, December 8th marks the Festa dell'Immacolata, or Feast of the Immaculate Conception, heralding the start of the Christmas season in Italy.
Yes, this is a deeply significant religious holiday honoring the Virgin Mary. Special masses are held and solemn processions take place throughout the country. Cities are beautifully decorated, you start seeing the Christmas lights, and Christmas markets open, offering traditional holiday treats like strafoli, those are honey-soaked dough balls, and pampotè, a dense fruitcake.
It sounds like a time for both religious devotion and festive anticipation. Families begin decorating their homes, putting at the tree, preparing for Christmas.
Exactly. It sets a beautiful, kind of warm tone for the weeks ahead.
Our festival journey concludes with a truly iconic event, the Midnight Mass at St. Peter's Basilica on Christmas Eve.
This is a cornerstone of Christmas celebrations in Italy, attracting thousands of worshippers. Led by the Pope in the grandeur of St. Peter's Basilica, it's a profoundly moving experience centered around themes of peace, hope, and compassion. It's broadcast worldwide, too.
It sounds like a powerful culmination to the year's festivities, a moment of deep spiritual connection. So we've seen this incredible vibrancy in Italy's celebrations. Now, let's delve into the deeper societal values that underpin this passionate way of life. Beyond these incredible celebrations, there are core aspects that define Italian society. What are some of the foundational values that shape daily life?
Well, at the heart of Italian society is the profound importance of family, la famiglia. Relationships between family members are highly valued, evident in everything from Sunday lunches, often multi-generational, hours-long affairs filled with lively conversation and, yes, copious amounts of food, to major holiday gatherings.
That strong family bond seems to be a recurring theme throughout many of the festivals we've discussed.
It is, definitely. Another key aspect is the art of socializing. Italians genuinely enjoy spending time with friends and family, whether it's over coffee, wine, or a meal. Socializing is deeply embedded in the culture.
It's often said that Italians are very welcoming and enjoy connecting with others.
Absolutely. Traditional respect for authority is also significant, historically anyway, from parents and teachers to government officials. And religion, predominantly Catholicism, plays a vital role in many facets of Italian life.
We've touched on Catholicism quite a bit with the festivals,
Yeah.
but what about the broader religious landscape? You mentioned it's changing.
Right. While historically dominant, Italy's religious landscape is increasingly diverse,
Right.
largely due to immigration. We now see significant Muslim communities making up roughly maybe 3-4% of the population.
Okay.
Eastern Orthodox, around 1 to 1.5%, Protestant, Hindu, Sikh, and Buddhist communities too. And of course, Judaism also has very ancient roots in Italy.
So while Catholicism still holds a major place, it's no longer the sole religious identity.
That's correct. Since 1984, Catholicism is no longer the state religion, and the Constitution guarantees freedom of religion. While estimates suggest a large percentage still identify as Catholic, somewhere between, say, 61% and 80%, depending on the survey.
Right.
Around 15% report having no religion, and about 5% follow other faiths. So it's definitely shifting.
It's a picture of both deep-rooted tradition and evolving demographics. What other core aspects define Italian society?
Food, of course. Incredibly significant, not just for sustenance, but as an expression of passion, creativity, regional identity.
Can't forget the food.
Never.
Yeah.
And Italians take great pride in fashion and appearance, la bella figura, with Milan being a global fashion capital. Education is also highly valued.
It sounds like a society that cherishes both its heritage and its present identity.
Indeed. While traditionally quite patriarchal, gender roles are evolving, though maybe slower in some areas than others. Italians are known for being passionate and expressive, sometimes quite animated.
Yes.
And they place a very high value on both tradition and history. You see that everywhere.
We've seen how many of these festivals have religious roots.
Hmm?
Let's now take a closer look at the role of Catholicism in shaping Italian culture and traditions. Let's delve a bit deeper into that religious landscape, focusing specifically on Catholicism's role.
Okay. Catholicism's historical roots in Italy are incredibly deep, going back to the very foundations of the church. And its influence is, well, undeniable. The presence of Vatican City right within Rome underscores its unique position as the center of the Catholic world. Catholicism has long informed public holidays, as we've seen, and even aspects of Italian law, particularly concerning family and social issues, historically.
We've talked about Christmas and Easter. What are some other key holiday traditions shaped by Catholicism?
Well, Ferragosto, on August 15th, which honors the Assumption of Mary, is a major national holiday. It often marks the peak of summer vacations when cities empty out.
Right. Everyone goes to the beach.
Pretty much. And as we mentioned with the festivals, nearly every town, every village celebrates its patron saint with special feast days, processions, local traditions. Think of the Festa di San Gennaro in Naples, where the faithful await the annual liquefaction miracle.
Ah, yes, the blood miracle.
Or St. John's Eve in Florence, celebrated with barnfires and historical reenactments like the Calcio Storico.
And these aren't just historical relics. They're still very much alive in Italian communities today.
Absolutely. Catholicism has also significantly impacted social structures, influencing family life, community events, even marriage ceremonies. Many people still prefer a church wedding. While Italy is officially secular, the high percentage of Catholics means its influence on daily life remains substantial, even if church attendance itself has declined.
It's fascinating to see how these religious traditions weave their way into the fabric of everyday life. What about other faiths in Italy? You mentioned their growth.
Right. Historically, there were minor denominations even before the dominance of Roman Catholicism, like Arianism way back and Gnostic sects. But the significant growth of other religions is primarily due to recent immigration, leading to a richer cultural mix. Muslim communities have grown, establishing mosques and cultural centers and becoming an increasingly visible part of the Italian landscape, especially in certain cities. There are also sizable Orthodox communities, including Greek, Romanian, and Russian, often with their own distinct churches and traditions.
And Judaism has a long history in Italy, doesn't it? A very long history.
Yes, it does, with ancient roots, particularly in Rome, dating back centuries before Christianity became prominent. Italian Jews follow the distinctive Italian rite Itochim, which has unique liturgical traditions developed over centuries. They also have their own unique synagogue architecture, often more integrated into the surrounding urban fabric than in some other parts of Europe, like in the historic ghettos. And there's a fascinating blend of kosher laws and Italian flavors in their cuisine, as well as Judeo-Italian dialects.
It really paints a picture of a dynamic and evolving religious landscape. Now let's turn our attention to the Italian language itself. How does it contribute to Italy's cultural identity?
The Italian language is fundamental to Italian culture, serving as its primary vehicle of expression and a powerful unifying force. As we noted, a vast majority, around 87% of Italians, use it as their primary language. Its evolution from the Tuscan dialect, particularly that of Florence during the Renaissance, and the profound influence of literary giants like Dante Alighieri, Francesco Petrarca, and Giovanni Boccaccio, solidified its place as the standard literary language, eventually becoming the national tongue after unification.
And it's known for being quite a phonetic and melodic language, isn't it? Sounds beautiful.
Yes, its phonetic nature makes pronunciation relatively straightforward. Generally speaking, words are usually pronounced as they're written, and its vowel-rich sound contributes significantly to its melodious quality. However, what's truly fascinating is the array of regional dialects that exist alongside Standard Italian, forming this vibrant linguistic mosaic. These dialects really highlight the historical and cultural diversity of the peninsula.
We hear about Italian dialects quite often. Are they just slight variations of the standard language, or?
Not exactly. Some of these regional dialects, such as Sicilian, Friulian, Venetian, Sardinian, Neapolitan, and Lombard, are so distinct that linguists often consider them separate languages within the Romance language family. They developed in parallel with Tuscan, not directly from it, often retaining linguistic features that Standard Italian has lost over time.
So, while standard Italian is widely spoken, especially thanks to TV and education, these dialects still hold significant cultural importance.
Absolutely. They remain vital for local culture and identity, especially among older generations and in more rural or tight-knit communities. Dialects often reflect the unique history of a region, its interactions with other cultures, think Greek influence in the south, German near Austria, and have their own distinct vocabulary, grammar, even proverbs and expressions. And importantly, language, in all its forms, is a crucial tool for preserving traditions through stories, songs, and everyday customs.
It really underscores how language is a living link to the past, like a time capsule sometimes.
Exactly. And just to give you a little taste, some essential Italian greetings and phrases you might hear include ciao for hello or goodbye, very informal.
Right, everyone knows ciao.
Buongiorno for good morning, buonasera for good evening, grazie for thank you, for please, scusi for excuse me formally, or scusa informally.
Okay.
Come stai is informal. How are you? Come sta is formal. Mi chiamo. For my name is arrivederci for goodbye formally, and the more casual, a presto for see you soon. These aren't just words, they carry cultural weight and reflect Italian social etiquette politeness.
Now let's move on to Italian traditions and customs beyond the major festivals. What are some key aspects of daily life that reflect Italian culture?
Well, family gatherings are a cornerstone, as we've said, especially on Sundays and holidays. These are times for long, leisurely meals and strong familial connection. Another important custom is la passeggiata, the evening stroll. It's a time for socializing, seeing and being seen, people watching, and connecting with the community, usually before dinner.
It sounds like a lovely way to end the day and reinforces that social aspect we discussed earlier. Very civilized.
It does. And as we've seen, the regional uniqueness of Italian festivals is a major part of the cultural landscape. The Sagre, the patron saint days. Let's not forget the deep respect for family and elders, a value that still permeates Italian society, though perhaps changing with generations.
And the food. We can't talk about Italian traditions without mentioning the cuisine again.
Absolutely not. The diversity of Italian cuisine, with its regional specialties risotto in the north, caponata in Sicily, and the emphasis on fresh, seasonal ingredients is fundamental. It's not just eating, it's a cultural act. And let's not forget the aperitivo ritual, a pre-dinner social gathering with drinks like an Aperol Spritz or Prosecco, and snacks, olives, nuts, small bites. It's a moment to unwind and socialize before the evening meal.
So many wonderful traditions that really paint a picture of Italian life beyond the stereotypes.
And there are specific holiday traditions too, like La Befana bringing gifts on Epiphany, or the New Year's customs involving lentils for wealth, cotechino or zampone, which are types of sausage, and even wearing red underwear for good luck.
Red underwear.
Really?
Apparently so.
Yeah.
For good fortune in the coming year.
Okay, let's delve into some of the unique customs that are specifically tied to Catholicism. We've mentioned some with the festivals, but are there others that stand out?
Yes, many. Religious processions and patron saint festivals are incredibly important, as we touched on. The Festa di San Gennaro in Naples, with the supposed miracle of the liquefaction of his blood, is a prime example. People gather, pray. It's very intense. Cities like Florence, Genoa, and Turin also have significant celebrations honoring St. John the Baptist, their patron saint, often with historical reenactments, parades, and fireworks. And in Catania, Sicily, the Feast of St. Agatha involves carrying her heavy silver reliquary through the streets. It's a huge event.
And the tradition of nativity scenes, or presepi, that seems very Italian. That's a beautiful custom that originated in Italy with St. Francis of Assisi back in the 13th century. He created the first living nativity scene in Greccio to help people visualize the birth of Jesus. Now, these elaborate displays, often handmade with incredible detail, are central to Italian Christmas celebrations and have spread worldwide. Naples is particularly famous for its presepe artisans.
Holy Week and Easter also seem rich with unique rituals.
Very much so. There are the Via Crucis, or Way of the Cross, processions on Good Friday in many towns, and regional customs like Sardinia's Lunasanti procession with its haunting chants, or Sicily's Vasa Vasa ritual on Easter Sunday, depicting the joyful meeting of the resurrected Christ and the Virgin Mary.
And what about Palm Sunday? What's the custom there?
On Palm Sunday, olive branches, more common than palms in much of Italy, are blessed and distributed to the faithful. People take them home and often display them, sometimes woven into intricate shapes, as a symbol of peace and Christ's entry into Jerusalem. Then there's the infiorata, which means flower carpet. Towns create these elaborate, stunning carpets made entirely of flower petals on the streets for Corpus Christi processions. It's visually amazing, a real expression of communal devotion and artistry.
Wow.
And there are even really unique events like the Festival of the Snake Catchers in Cocudo in Abruzzo. It blends Catholic veneration of Saint Dominic, who is invoked against snake bites, with ancient pagan traditions related to snake charming. Processions involve draking snakes over the statue of the saint.
It's a distinctive custom. Quite something.
Indeed. And let's not forget bonfires and dances for the Feast of St. John the Baptist, often seen as a way to celebrate the summer solstice with religious undertones, or the lovely Neapolitan tradition of caffè sospeso, paying for a coffee in advance for someone in need, a small, everyday act reflecting Catholic values of charity.
It really highlights the deep and often unique ways faith is expressed in Italian culture, blending history, local tradition, and belief. What about unique customs from other religions in Italy?
Well, Orthodox Christian communities in Italy maintain their own liturgical traditions, often in their own languages like Greek or Romanian. The Basilica di San Nicola in Bari, where the relics of St. Nicholas, the original Santa Claus, reside, is a significant pilgrimage site for both Catholics and Orthodox Christians. They often host special Byzantine liturgies there. Italian Jews, as we mentioned, follow the distinctive Italian rite Aitochem. They have unique synagogue architecture, like the Scuola Grande Tedesca in Venice, one of the oldest synagogues there, and their own culinary traditions that often blend Jewish dietary laws with local Italian ingredients, creating a unique kosher Italian fusion cuisine. Think artichokes Jewish style, carciofi alla Judia.
It's a fascinating tapestry of religious practices. And of course, food often plays a central role in these religious festivals. What are some unique food traditions linked to them?
Oh, absolutely. Food is key. Christmas Eve traditionally features a meatless fish dinner, reflecting a historical practice of abstinence before the big feast day.
The Feast of the Seven Fishes, some call it, though the number varies.
Exactly. Then Christmas Day brings celebratory roasts, maybe lasagna or tortellini and broth, and the iconic sweetbreads, panettone and pandoro. For Epiphany, those sweetbreads continue, often associated with La Befana, who might leave them along with other treats like candies or coal for naughty children.
Cool, right.
Easter celebrations include lamb, a bacchio, especially in central Italy, symbolizing the Lamb of God. There's the sweet ricotta wheat pie, pastiera napoletana, the dove-shaped cake, colomba di Pasqua, and savory breads like casatiello from Naples or crescia di Pasqua from Umbria, often with eggs baked in. And of course, chocolate eggs, often with surprises inside.
Carnival seems to be about indulgence before Lent.
Definitely. It's a time for fried sweets like chiacchiere, thin, crispy strips of dough, also called frappe or boogie, depending on the region, and zeppole, those cream-filled donuts we mentioned for St. Joseph's Day too, but popular during Carnival as well. Also things like tordelli pasta in Tuscany or fagioli all'uccelletto beans cooked with tomato and sage.
And New Year's.
New Year's brings lentils, symbolizing coins and wealth, often served with cotechino or zampone, rich pork sausages, for good luck and prosperity in the year ahead. St. Joseph's Day, as we said, is synonymous with Zeppole di San Giuseppe. And local sagre, or food festivals, often feature regional dishes tied to patron saints, or local agricultural products like fried fish at a coastal saints festival, or hazelnut cake in Piedmont, an area known for hazelnuts.
It's incredible how many of these food traditions carry symbolic meaning and are deeply connected to the religious calendar or local identity.
They truly are, adding another layer of richness and deliciousness to these celebrations.
Now, shifting gears slightly, our sources also shed light on a fascinating and perhaps less well-known aspect of Italian religious history: the experiences of Italian Catholic immigrants in the United States. It mentioned something called the Italian problem. What was that about?
Right, the Italian problem. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, many within and outside the Catholic Church in America viewed the religious practice of Italian immigrants as, well, a problem or even a scandal. This perception largely stemmed from the fact that Italian immigrants often didn't attend church regularly, go to Mass weekly, or financially support the established, largely Irish-dominated church in the same way. Their more public and emotional devotional practices, focused on saints, festivals, processions, seemed very different, maybe even superstitious to some observers.
So it was a clash of religious expressions and expectations.
Precisely. There were accusations of moral deterioration, religious neglect. Some scholars at the time even attributed it to a supposed popular pagan magical devotion that Italians supposedly brought with them from Italy. A rather biased view looking back. However, newer research, drawing on previously closed Vatican archives and archives of places like the Archdiocese of New York, offers a more nuanced picture. It looks more closely at the ecclesiastical life, that is, the organized religious activities and structures of these immigrant communities.
It sounds like this new research is challenging some long-held assumptions. Were there any contemporary Italian voices who challenged this negative perception of immigrant religious practices back then?
Well, while perhaps not widely heard in mainstream American society at the time, some Italian priests and community leaders did advocate for a better understanding of Italian religious culture and pushed for their own parishes. The new research highlights these internal dynamics and the efforts to bridge the cultural and religious gaps. The focus is shifting from solely examining the immigrants' devotional practices, often through biased lenses, to a broader understanding of their actual church life and the political history within the Italian immigrant church experience. It acknowledges the real north-south differences in religious practice within Italy itself.
Right, you mentioned that earlier.
And how those differences played out in America. Southern Italian devotion, for example, often being more public, more community-focused around festivals and local saints, compared to maybe more restrained northern practices.
And the poverty of the church in southern Italy also played a role in how they practiced.
Yes, that's a key point in the new research. The impoverished state of the church in southern Italy often meant less organized religious infrastructure, maybe less formal religious education, and different forms of religious expression compared to the more established and financially sound Catholic Church in the U.S., which was often dominated by the Irish hierarchy. When Italians immigrated, they brought these diverse regional practices and expectations with them.
So, lack of weekly church attendance didn't necessarily equate to a lack of faith for these immigrants.
Exactly. That's crucial. Many Italian immigrants maintained a deep Catholic culture rooted in family, community traditions, personal piety, even if their participation in formal church services differed from the American norm. The quality of some Italian priests sent to the U.S. at the time was also, frankly, sometimes a contributing factor. There are reports, like one from Bishop Corrigan of New York, citing issues with some priests, which understandably affected some immigrants' engagement with the institutional church.
It sounds like a much more complex story than previously understood, involving not just religious devotion, but also politics within the church, socioeconomic factors, regional differences from Italy, and the immigrants' own agency.
Absolutely. There were even instances of lay activism, with Italian immigrant communities taking unprecedented steps to establish their own parishes, sometimes even electing their own priests, in direct conflict with the established church hierarchy, like at St. Mary Magdalene de Pazzi in Philadelphia in 1876. It shows they cared deeply about their faith, but wanted it expressed in ways that felt authentic to them.
Our journey through Italy's cultural landscape has taken us from vibrant festivals to core societal values, the nuances of religion and language, unique customs, and even the experiences of Italian immigrants abroad. To bring it full circle, let's touch upon some significant Catholic pilgrimage sites within Italy itself.
Right. Italy is incredibly rich in these sites, drawing millions of pilgrims each year seeking spiritual solace, historical connection, and artistic beauty. In Rome alone, you have the four major papal basilicas: St. Peter's Basilica, the heart of the Catholic Church;
Obviously.
St. Paul, outside the walls, a magnificent ancient basilica built over St. Paul's tomb; St. Mary Major, home to a relic believed to be from Jesus' cradle; and St. John Lateran, the Pope's official cathedral as Bishop of Rome, with a relic of St. Peter's original wooden altar. Plus, the Scala Sancta, the Holy Stairs, believed to be the stairs Jesus ascended to Pontius Pilate. Pilgrims often climb them on their knees.
Moving beyond Rome, what other important pilgrimage destinations are there?
Well, Siena is hugely important. It has the Siena Cathedral, a stunning example of Romanesque Gothic architecture; the Basilica San Domenico, containing relics of St. Catherine of Siena, a doctor of the church; and her sanctuary, built around her house, offering insights into her life and spirituality. Then up north in Turin, you have the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist, the resting place of the Shroud of Turin, believed by many to be the burial cloth of Jesus. There's also the Most Holy Shroud Museum nearby. And not far from Turin, the Sacra di San Michele, an ancient Benedictine abbey dedicated to St. Michael the Archangel, perched dramatically on a mountaintop.
Padua is another key site, isn't it? For St. Anthony.
Yes, the Basilica of St. Anthony of Padua is a major international shrine. It holds important relics, including his miraculously preserved tongue and vocal cords, and stunning bronze sculptures by Donatello. Pilgrims come from all over the world. Even Venice, beyond St. Mark's Basilica itself, with its Byzantine mosaics and Palladoro, holds religious significance with its countless churches and historical connections.
And, of course, Assisi, the birthplace of St. Francis. Can't forget Assisi.
Assisi is absolutely a must-visit for pilgrims. There's the Basilica of St. Francis, housing his tomb and stunning frescoes by Giotto and others depicting his life. The Basilica of St. Clare contains her bones and the original crucifix from San Damiano that spoke to St. Francis. Also, the Basilica of St. Mary of the Angels down in the valley, which protects the Porzincola Chapel, the tiny church where St. Francis founded his order. And more recently, the tomb of Blessed Carlo Acutis in the Church of Santa Maria Maggiore has become a pilgrimage destination, especially for young people.
And Loreto, what's the significance there?
Loreto is another very important site. It's home to the sanctuary of the Holy House of Loreto, believed by tradition to be the actual house of the Virgin Mary, miraculously transported by angels from Nazareth. There are various theories about how it got there, but it's a major Marian shrine.
And in more recent history, there's San Giovanni Rotondo, associated with Padre Pio.
Exactly. The shrine of St. Padre Pio, a very popular 20th century saint known for his stigmata, miracles, and spiritual guidance. His tomb is in the large new church there. And Monte Sant'Angelo in Puglia has the ancient sanctuary of St. Michael the Archangel, a unique celestial basilica never consecrated by human hands, built directly over the grotto where St. Michael is said to have appeared multiple times. The stones from the grotto are considered powerful sacramentals. Finally, Bari, as we mentioned, is home to the Basilica di San Nicola, the tomb of St. Nicholas, where the miraculous liquid called manna, or manna of St. Nicholas, is said to be extracted annually on his feast day.
It's an incredible wealth of sacred sites, each with its own deep history and spiritual significance.
It truly is, reflecting the deep and enduring presence of Catholicism in Italy and its role as a central destination for spiritual seekers from across the globe.
Okay, let's try and unpack this all. From the, well, exuberant chaos of Carnival to the solemnity of Midnight Mass, we've journeyed through a year that truly reflects the intertwined threads of tradition, faith, and community that make Italy so unique. We've definitely moved far beyond just pasta and pizza.
Definitely. It's clear that Italy's festivals, traditions, religion, particularly Catholicism, but acknowledging the growing diversity and language are all deeply interwoven. They create this incredibly rich and complex cultural identity.
Precisely. Our aim with this deep dive was to provide you, the listener, with a kind of shortcut to being well-informed, highlighting those surprising facts and memorable details that hopefully bring this cultural tapestry to life.
Yeah, to give you a real feel for it.
I'm curious, just reflecting on it all, of all the aspects we've explored, which resonated most with you. Did any particular festival, custom, or maybe that historical insight about the immigrants spark a new area of interest?
And this raises, I think, an important question for you, our listener, to maybe ponder. How does understanding this historical and cultural context of Italy enhance one's appreciation for its global contributions in art, food, fashion, everything, and its evolving identity in the modern world? Perhaps you'll be inspired to delve deeper into a specific festival, explore a particular religious site if you ever travel there, or even try learning a few phrases in one of Italy's fascinating regional dialects. The journey of discovery, as they say, never truly ends.